Hello, wonderful people, and welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys some recommendations for the summertime. It's officially summer since last week, I think, last week on Saturday here in Belgium. So I thought, why not give you guys some fun summer recommendations? A lot of these books you probably know, and I'm going to be probably repeating a lot of people, but I don't care. I still want to give you my recommendations and the books I think you should read in the summertime. So I would say let's get started. So I'm going to divide the recommendations in three categories. We're going to do romances, literary fiction, and young adults. We're going to start with the romances. So, first up, the first romance books I want to talk about are specifically romance books from Carly Fortune. So, I want to recommend three books because one book I've read and I didn't really like, so it would be really weird if I would recommend a book I didn't like. So, yeah. First book I'm going to start with by Carly Fortune is, if I'm looking at my screens, because I have all of the books down there because I don't have all of the books physically. So, yeah. So, the first book is The Summer Will Be Different. This is a release from last year. I haven't read it yet, but it's on my TBR to read this year. But I still wanted to give you guys a recommendation, even though I haven't read it yet. I'm going to quickly look what it is about because I don't know actually, or not really well. But I really love Carly Fortune. Her covers are really summery and give the summer vibes. So this summer will be different. It's about Lucy, and she is a tourist. Lucy is a tourist vacationing at a beach house. I'm going to take a little bit closer to me. So Lucy is a tourist vacationing at the beach house on Prince Edward Island. Felix is a local who shows her a very good time. The only problem, Lucy doesn't know he's her best friend, the youngest brother. Lucy and Felix's chemistry is unreal, but the list of reasons why they need to stay away from each other is long, and they vow to never repeat that electric night again. It's easier said than done. Each year, Lucy escapes to PEI for a big breath of coastal air, fresh oysters and crepes vino verde with her best friend Bridget. Every visit begins with a long walk on the beach, beneath soaring red cliffs and a golden sun. And every visit, Lucy promises herself she won't wind up in Felix's bed again. If Lucy can't help being drawn to Felix, at least she's always kept her heart out of it. When Bridget suddenly flees Toronto a week before her wedding, Lucy drops everything to follow her to the island. Her mission is to help Bridget through her crisis and resist the one man she's never been able to. But Felix's sparkling eyes and flirty quips have been replaced with something new, and Lucy's beginning to wonder just how safe her heart truly is. That sounds so good. All of her books are like set on like a lake or alongside the water. So yeah, I think that's a perfect book for to read in the summer setting. Then the next book is Every Summer After, also by Carly Fortune, and this book follows the story of Percy and Sam. And that's important to know because this is the first book, and in the second book I just read, you have One Golden Summer, and this book follows the brother of Sam in this book, and he has his own love story going on. It is important to read the first book first, so Every Summer first, Every Summer After first. I liked it, but I didn't really love it. I still gave it like 3 stars, so I still would recommend it. It was a fun summer vibes, but I do like One Golden Summer better. And I think if you read them back to back, you will really see grow in the main character from One Golden Summer. And they are both set on the same lake, and they follow. So in the first, you see how Percy and Sam get together and everything that happens after all of those years. And then in One Golden Summer, you follow Charlie, and he's like the brother of Sam in the first book. And you see a lot of growth from Every Summer After to One Golden Summer in Charlie, and I really love that. So yeah, so those are first three recommendations. I think Carly Fortune books are really fun, and they read also very easily and are very fast paced. And with the setting mostly on the lake, it's just the perfect time to read it now, I think. So yeah. Now, on to the next. So I will you see here like if the books are spicy or not, because I think that could be useful for some people. And now we're going to go into like more of a series, and that is a Chestnut Spring series by um, Elsie Silver. Whoa, I forgot. So there are 5 books in total. I've read the first 2 books, so I have read Flawless and Heartless. After this, you have Powerless, then you have also Reckless and Hopeless, I think. There are 5 books in total, and they follow like the same, they're set in the same small town in Chestnut Springs. And they're like all of them are like cowboy romances. Of most of them are also all, especially the first 2. There are different tropes in it. You have like grumpy sunshine, and then the next book you have also like more grumpy sunshine, but also single dad and age gap. They're not specifically like set in the spring, in the summertime, I think, or maybe they are. I'm not sure, but I think they're very fun vibe to read now because they're so fluffy and so fun to read. And I think romance books are mostly read in the summertime because it's just light to read. And I really love the 2 books I have read so far. And also the covers are like very summery vibes. So this book follows Summer and Red. The next book, Heartless, follows Kate and I'm so bad at names. It's annoying. That follows Kate and Willa, and then the third book, Powerless, follows Jasper and I'm not sure what the girl name, the female main characters, but that's like friends to lovers. And I don't know. And then you have also like the other brother, Bo. As I think that's the last book, but I'm sure. And there's one book. I don't know who that was about. I forgot. But yeah, I think the Chestnut Spring series is a very good series to read in the summertime because they have like fun vibes, this kind of summer vibes as well. Because I do think it is set in the summer, but it's not like specifically set, you know? So yeah, this Chestnut Spring series. And these are spicy, so be aware of that. Now going into another series, like interconnected series, so you can read them separately and you don't have to read them in order. So yeah. And then there's a When in Rome series by Sarah Adams. So there are 4 books in total. 3 books are already released and there's one more releasing next year. So you have When in Rome, then you have Practice Makes Perfect, and then you have Back, Borrow or Steal. They follow, all of those books follow like one brother and 3 sisters. So in the first book you have Noah, he's the big brother, and then you have the 3 sisters. So they follow like 3 sisters and one brother. You have Noah and When in Rome, then you have Annie in Practice Makes Perfect, then you have Emily in Beg, Borrow, Steal, and I think Maddie in then the next book, the last book that's coming out. They're like very fast paced. There's also really short, and there's little to no spice in these books, and I really like that, to have like just books in between that don't have like a lot of spice in it, because sometimes it's fun to read that, but sometimes I just want to read a book with nothing else of extra like that in it. So in this book we follow Noah, as you can see on the cover, and then the female male main character is Amelia, and she's like this kind of pop star, but she wants to take a break from it because she's been going through a lot and just needs a little break. So she flees to this town, Rome, Kentucky, and she has this inspiration is as she took inspiration from Audrey Hepburn, who flew to Rome, Italy, but that was a little bit too far away for Amelia, so she went to Rome, Kentucky. And then things happen, and she strands there, and she's going to stay there for a while. And then she meets Noah and like the other girls, and yeah, I think it's so fun, and just thinking of it, I'm smiling again. It's such a fun book to read. All of them. I think my favorite is Backborough Seal because it's like more academic rivals kind of to lovers, and I really love that. It's one of my favorite tropes. So yeah. So if you want a little bit more light read, nothing with too much spice, these books are perfect for you. Now going into another series, because obviously I do have the physical books. They're No, they're standing here, but I didn't want to pick them. So yeah, and that is a Lake from Billionaire series, Lauren Asher. So there are 3 books in total. One book still has to be released, but it's going to be released in August this year. But you have first a Love Redesigned, and then you have Love Unwritten. And both of these books that are currently out are perfect for summer, especially Love Unwritten, because it is really set in the summertime, and they are also going on a vacation to Hawaii, and it's perfect. So Love Redesigned follows Delia and Julian. They knew each other from back in the day, and Delia comes back to this kind of small town where it's set. They were friends, but they were also kind of rivals. They have a really complicated relationship. And they start to grow on each other, and things are happening also in the reason why Delia came back to the small town. So yeah, it's like friends to rivals to lovers, kind of that situation. It is a thick book, but I think it's worth it. I give this 5 stars. I really love the book, and these covers are also so stunning. And then you have the next book, Love Unwritten. That's about Rafa and Lily. Lily is the nanny of Rafa's son. So there's a single dad moment here, and I really loved it. It was the first time I read single dad trope, and I'm obsessed. So really recommend it. It is also a very long book, but all of these books are, and I think Laura Escher is kind of known for that. But I didn't mind at all. I really love it, and yeah, there's this dynamic going on between Rafa and Lily, and they have to kind of figure out what to do with it, especially because Lily is the nanny of Rafa's son. So yeah, and especially when they're going to Hawaii, it's so fun because you have the complete summer vibe. Because I mean, Hawaii is summer all the time. So yeah, and then you have the last book. That's the final book. That's Love Arranged, and that has to be released, but it's on my TBR, and I'm going to be reading it if it's out because I already have the pre-orders. So yeah, another fun romance series you could read this summertime. And also, I mean, 3 books, that's not a lot, you know? So yeah. And now for the last book, no, that's not true. There are 2 more books in the series. So the next book is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This is part of a interconnected series, but I haven't read the 2 previous books that are Yours Truly and Part of Your World. And I don't know how much they are centered in the summertime. I think they are kind of, but I'm not sure. But this one definitely is. So this book follows Justin and Emma, and Justin, he kind of has this curse that every time he breaks up with a woman, this woman finds their soulmate. And Emma kind of has the same thing going on, and they meet each other, and like, you know what, we're going to fake date actually, and see that if when we break up, we both find our soulmates. I really enjoyed this book. Abby Jimenez's writing style is so beautiful. There are also some things I marked in here as well. It's really beautiful. I think what I would recommend is read them in order because I haven't, and I do think it would hit harder if I read them in the correct order. But yeah, that's too late now for me, but not for you if you haven't read these books yet. So yeah, this is really good for summer vibes because it takes place in summer. So yeah, it says it's supposed to be a quick fling just for the summer, but when Emma's toxic mother shows up and Justin has to assume guardianship of his 3 siblings, they're suddenly navigating a lot more than they expected. So yeah, very fun. Also very sad. Be reminded, take your tissues. You're going to cry. Or I did, at least. Now, this is another book I haven't read yet, but I will be reading it in the summer because I think it's a perfect summer book. Especially if you know what the title is, and that is Problematic Summer Romance by Ellie Hazelwood. So this is her newest release, and this is, I don't actually know a lot about it. I just know it's part of age gap, and that's it. With a wedding in Italy. So Maya Kulgor is 23 and is still in the process of figuring out her life. Connor Harkis is 38, and Maya cannot stop thinking about him. It's such a cliche, it almost makes her heart implode. Older man and a younger woman, successful biotech guy and struggling grad student, brother's best friend and a girl he never knew even existed. As Connor loves to remind her, the power dynamic is too imbalanced. Any relationship between them will be problematic in too many ways to count, and Maya should just go get over him. After all, he has to make it clear that he wants her gone from his life. But not everything is as it seems, and cliches sometimes become plot twists. When Maya's brother decides to get married in Tyrone Mina, she and Connor end up stuck together in a romantic Sicilian villa for over a week. There, on the beautiful Lowland coast, between ancient ruins, delicious food, and natural caves, Maya realizes that Connor might be hiding something from her. And as the destination wedding begins to erupt out of control, she decides that a summer fling might be just what she needs, even if it's a problematic one. That sounds so good. I mean, a wedding, best friends, brother's best friend, age gap, Italy, discover. This is going to be, I predict this is going to be 5-star. I'm leaving for vacation this week and I'm taking this one with me. And I predict it's going to be 5-star. I've heard a lot of good things about it. And I'm kind of with vibing with the age gap. I recently read the age gap book as well, Heartless by L.T. Sailor. It's also age gap. And yeah, very excited. And I think, I mean, these are the perfect summer vibes. We are in the summer. There's a wedding in Italy. What else do you want? So yeah. Now, going into another series, but it is like the second book, so you have some options, and that is Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I don't have the physical copy with me, but Wildfire is part of the Maple Hill series. There are 3 books in total, so you have Icebreaker, Wildfire, and then Daydream. I do think Wildfire is the best book to read in the summer because Icebreaker is like, I don't know, I just read it in the I read it in January, December, I think. I just felt more like the vibes were more suitable then than now. And I think Wildfire is perfect for now because that takes place on a summer camp. We follow the 2 main characters. They hook up once and they think they're never going to see each other again until they meet at the summer camp they're going to be working at. So that's a little bit awkward if you ask me. So they really don't know what to do, how should they act with each other. It's a little bit complicated. So yeah. It is a spicy romance, so be aware of that. But I think it's more than that. There's also some connection, there's a deeper connection between them, even though they just started up with a hookup. Both of them have their struggles. She has a struggles with her family, but he as well. So yeah, you could definitely read it as a standalone without, because this was also the first book I read in this Maple Hill series. I first read Wildfire and then I read Icebreaker and then obviously Daydream. So I don't think it really matters. You just see the couple from the first book in the second book in Wildfire. So if you don't want that, you could read Icebreaker first, but that's totally up to you. Now we're going to talk about the last book. Actually, the last author, because it's more of an author I'm going to talk about. But she has 6 books, and that's a lot. So I'm just going to talk about my favorite book of her, and that is none other than Miss Emily Henry and the book Happy Place. So I think all of her books are perfect to read in the summertime. You have Happy Place, Funny Story, Beach Read, her recent release Great Big Beautiful Life, People We Meet on Vacation, and Book Lovers. So yeah, Happy Place is I think my favorite book by her. I reread it this year and I just love it so much. So this book follows Harriet and Wynne, and Harriet and Wynne were a couple, but they just broken up. But every year they go this like summer vacation house with their friends in Maine, I think. Yeah, in Maine. And they just don't want because this is going to be the last time they're going to go there because it's going to because a cottage is going up for sale and they don't want to ruin the vibe. So they say, you know what, we're going to pretend we're still together. We're going to, because they're also going to get married and they know, but nobody of their friends know. There are a lot of people who really don't like this book because there is some miscommunication, and be aware. If you really hate miscommunication, maybe don't read it. But I still think you should give it a try because I think miscommunication is something that's so realistic in my opinion. A lot of conflicts begin with miscommunication, and that's also a part of this book. And it's so much more than just a romance with Harriet and Win. It's also the friendship and the dynamic and how friend groups evolve throughout the years. So yeah, I think this is a very beautiful book. You have like two um, point of views, not point of views. You follow the now when when they're at the cottage, and then you have the before, like the process of them breaking up is. So yeah, I think it's real beautiful. I When I reread it, I annotated, and yeah, I do think it's one of my favorite books by Emily Henry ever. So yeah, you should definitely give it a try. And obviously all of her other books, Funny Story as well. Really love that one. People We Met on Vacation. Book Lovers, Beach Read are a little bit longer time I read them, but I want to reread them. Maybe I'm going to read Beach Read this year, but I'm not sure. And then you also have Great Big Beautiful Life, her newest release. That was still good. I thought it was going to be 5 star, but it wasn't. But I still really enjoyed it. So yeah. Now we're going to the literary fiction books. There are two books I want to talk about, and two of those books are from the same author. So don't judge me. I don't really love literary fiction, only by this author. I think I've read the most books. So yeah. And the first book is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So in this book we follow like this family, this big popular family in California, in Malibu, and it is about the Riva family. And it mainly focuses on Nina Riva, her point of view. So you're mostly reading that point of view, I think. It's been a while since I read it, so don't judge me. But there's something in it. There at midnight, so I'm just going to read the back because that's I think the easiest to explain this book. So, August 1983 is the day of Nina Rivas' annual end of summer party. Everyone who is anyone wants to be around Rivas. Surfer and supermodel Nina, brothers Jay and Hood, and their baby sister Kit. Together, the siblings are a source of fascination in Malibu and the world over, especially as the children of this legendary singer Mick Riva. By midnight, the party will be completely out of control. By morning, the Riva mansion will have gone up in flames. But before that, the alcohol will flow, the music will play, and secrets will come bubbling to the surface. So there's a lot happening in this book, a lot of family problems that are talked about, and the relationship with each other, and also the relationship with their father. I think this is just a book you just have to read and not know a lot of. I think that's the best way. But it is a perfect summer book. I mean, it is in Malibu, it's in California, it's a summertime. So, yeah. And then the next book, also by Taylor Jenkins Reid, is a book I recently read, and that is Carrie Soto is Back. And this book follows, obviously, Carrie Soto. And Carrie Soto is a retired tennis player, but she has this record of, what's that? I'm going to see, as it's here, claiming the most titles. And when she's looking at this game, she's going to be seeing her record shattered by another tennis player. And she's like, I want to go back and take back my record. So that's what she was going to do. You mind? She is retired. She hasn't played in a long time. So it's going to be difficult. So that's what this book is about. So you see Carrie trying to get back in shape and trying to win all of these tennis matches, tennis grand slams, I think they're called, or like the US Open, different opens, Wimbledon, I don't know. So yeah, so we first see and how she started playing, and she has this like special bond with her father because her father is her coach, her tennis coach. And when she's going out of retirement, she's going to need someone to play against, to be better and to have some sort of practice before going out and play for real. And her manager is like, I think I have found someone for you, and that is none other than Bo Henley. Bo Henley and her have kind of a past when she was still playing tennis back in the day, so it's a little bit awkward when they meet again. So yeah, I think it was a really fun and Taylor Jenkins Reid is just so special. It is, even I'm someone who really loves romance books, and even though the romance in this is not the main plot, the main thing in this book that is matters, I still really loved it, and I really was captivated, and I was really hooked to the story and what was going to happen, because we every time there is a tennis match, there's like the tennis, how do you call it? I don't know how to call it, like the French Open, and then you see all of the matches he was playing. And I think that's so interesting. And I was, even though I don't know anything about tennis, it is so well and easily explained that you understand it and that you're invested in going to read what is going to happen with each match Gary is playing. Also, fun fact, there is a little cameo of McRiva and Nina in this book. So yeah, I think it's not necessarily set in the summertime. I think not all of those tennis opens things are in summer, but it just gives us the summer vibes because it's tennis, and I link tennis kind of to the summertime. It's canon, but I'm not sure exactly. But yeah, I think this is a very good book to read something other than a romance book in the summertime. Now, lastly, some young adult books, because I think I I will also wanted to give you guys some young adult books. I don't read. I actually thought I read a lot of young adult books, but I actually don't. So yeah, there are like 3 books. So I'm sorry. So the first book is like more of a mystery, and that is We Were Lights by Ian Lockhart. This is one of the first books I read starting when I started reading. So it's been a while since I read it, but I remember really liking it. And maybe I'm going to just reread it just for fun. Also because it's been a long time I read it. But so this book takes place at this island. I don't know if there's a name on my computer because I also have the book on there. But it's basically about this family, the Sinclair family, and they have this private island off the coast of Massachusetts. And there's not really a thing. It's really, the summary of the book is really vague. I mean, this is a summary that's on the book. It's not a lot. So it just says, if anyone asks you how it ends, just lie. We are Sinclairs. We live at least in the summertime on a private island off the coast of Massachusetts. Perhaps that is all you need to know, except that some of us are liars. So throughout this book, you get to know things. There are some things that are evolving, some things that are revealed. The things I don't know a lot anymore, but I just knew when I was reading it, I was in shock because I was like, whoa, this is intense. There is a second book that is called The Family of Flowers. I haven't read it yet, but I actually don't know what that book is about. So it is a very fast-paced book, so really fun, fast-paced book to read during the summertime. And it is a YA book, so it's not like it's very scary or something. The next book is What Happens After Midnight by Kayla Walter. This is more like of a romance book. And this book follows Lily. And Lily, she is about to be done with boarding school, but she has this feeling she kind of missed out on having fun because she's like this good student who always does what she needs to do, and it's not like doing pranks. And then all of a sudden she gets this invitation to participate in the end of the year prank. And this prankster is called Chester, and then she discovers who Chester is, and it's her ex-boyfriend. Yeah. And they're going to do this big prank, and it's going to be complicated, a lot of things happening. It's also going to be a prank on her, on the senior class president Daniel, her prom date. So yeah, I think it was a really fun and fast-paced book. It is a young adult book, so it's not might not be for everyone, but I think it was a fun book. So yeah, definitely read. You should try out. And then the last book, I don't have the first book with me, so I'm just going to talk about it. And it's a book I think everyone and their mother has already read, and it's a Summer Item Pretty series by Jenny Han. So there are 3 books, so it's kind of not a series, a trilogy. And they follow Belly, and every summer she goes to this summer house with her mom and her brother. And there are Jeremiah and Conrad. I think everyone knows this is kind of a love triangle, a lot of going on. There are 3 books. There's also the series on Amazon. I have watched the 2 seasons, the first 2 seasons, and now there is a last season that is going to be out, and I'm so excited for that. I can't wait. I'm not going to explain it too much because I already think a lot of people know what the book is about. So yeah, I think you need to know it's about Belly, and there's this love triangle going on with Jeremiah and Conrad. There's also other things going on with her brother. You see his kind of side as well, but not that much. It's more like in the series, I think you see it a little bit better. So yeah. So that was it for today's video. There were all of the recommendations I have for you guys. I hope some of these are maybe new for you, or maybe you haven't tried them, and maybe this video convinced you to try to read these in the summertime. If you have some recommendations, let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll read one of them. I hope you guys liked the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!